Hey YouTube, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another ISSPRO gauge install video on Bodie's truck. I'm going to film it from, I'll be filming it while he does all the work and I'll help him out wherever I can. My arm is still kind of limited right now with my shoulder surgery, so everything's getting back to the norm on that, but I still have to take it easy. So I'll show you guys the gauges that we're going to be installing. These are the ISSPRO 30,000 series. We have a pyro gauge and we have a boost pressure gauge. He's going to do the steering column mount like I have. And if you guys look at the back here, I mean, this is just wiring for the boost, but for the actual pyro, we have the thermocouple and everything we need to install it. So here we go, we're going to get started. And if you guys are wondering, here's the part numbers that we're going to be installing for the gauges. Alright, Bodie just showed up, and here's what the actual steering column mount looks like. There's a link to this in my description if you guys want to check it out. It's actually down there. I'm going to say it's like 45 bucks, but pretty simple. Gauges go in here, the wires come up through there, and he's taking apart the steering column mount now. And what I'm going to do is open these up and start making our pigtail so we can start wiring the power, dimmer, and ground, and then we'll run the sensor wires after that. Alright guys, for pigtailing this, what I did was, you can see I cut the two strands here. This is going to be my power wire. I used my little wire connector kit that I have over here that has the heat shrink and the solder in the middle. I did 2 to 1 pigtail, and since I know where we're going to plug in for the accessory on, I didn't have to make it very long. But I'm going to do this for the power. The orange will be my dimmer and the black will be my ground. I'll knock that out. And Bodie's in the process right now of taking the top, his air side apart right now so we can get under the exhaust manifold, get the thermocouple out, the old one, and we'll start routing the new one. And I'll show you guys the inside real quick. When we first start this, you got to take off the top center console, the top of your steering column, so we can put 2 holes through the bottom, set the new part on top, and then run our wire. So that's what we'll be doing. Alright, so we got kind of the tedious stuff done, and we made our pigtails. I got all 3 of the wires, or I guess 6 of the wires running in there, and I got 3 of them coming out. So next is routing our sensor wire and also our thermocouple wire. This is the one for your EGT, and this is the one for your boost pressure. So pretty simple to route. I'll show you guys exactly where we're going to route them through. There's a hole in your firewall down here that's usually made for your, I want to say like a clutch pack cylinder, but that little plastic right there, we're going to punch a hole in that, or see, yeah, we're going to have to punch another hole in that, and that's where we're going to route the wires through. We're going to take our blue thermocouple wire, we're going to run it through here. As you can see, Bodie's removing his old stuff right now. We're going to route it through here, across the whole top, and then down and underneath the steed speed. And then for the boost, it's pretty much just going to come straight out here, straight out. Let me back out here. Sorry about my camera work, guys. But it's just going to come straight out through there, and then our boost sensor is probably going to go somewhere over here on the side of this pusher intake. We're going to pull that screw out, and that should be pretty much where it's going to go. Running 2 gauges is a heck of a lot easier than running 5 gauges. Alright guys, we got a clean slate, and as you can see right there where those wires were coming through earlier, we got actually all those wires taken out. That was the pyro, and there was a power and a ground for a bully dog computer. That was, one was ran here, one was ran actually under the fuse box, and then another was ran over here to the power underneath the fuse box. So got all that stuff removed. We're going to start with a clean slate. We're going to put our pyro wire through there and our pressure sensor wire through there, and we should be good. We're going to do that now. Alright guys, this is the actual boost sensor that comes with the kit. What I'm going to do is, Bodie's taking out the MPT right now in his pusher intake, and I'm going to wrap this with some Teflon tape. Make sure you don't get any over the port itself, but just wrap this. You want to wrap this in the way that it's going to thread in. So when it threads in, it's the same way as the wrap, and it's not actually going to come unraveled. So I'm going to knock that out real quick and get it done. You guys see, I got it wrapped up real good, and we'll put it in there. There's no blockage on the actual sensor port, and we'll tighten her in there. All right, next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock out this. I'm going to try to drill the holes in the top of the stock actual steering column cover. So this mounts on top of here like so. You push it down, you got to put some tension, and then I'm going to hit it with a white paint marker for some reference, and then I'm going to drill a hole there, and that's where our wires are going to poke through for the actual sensors that plug into the back of the wiring that plugs into the back of the sensors. See there's a hole there and there's a hole there, and that's where, let's see if it's better to, yeah, there you guys can see there's the holes, and that's where our wires will come up and get plugged in. You guys see the MPTs are giving us a hard time. These ones look like they were powder coated over, so that's kind of where we're at right now. All right, my years of experience over young Bodie's got it out, so we got it taken care of. Pretty much what I did was I took a star bit. I just took this star bit right here, and since it was all wallered out, I just put it in there and smacked it down with the hammer, broke it loose, and success. So I'm gonna put the pressure sensor in and we'll reinstall it. All right guys, so we're starting to run the wiring, and one of the first things I noticed was this plug that's on the back of your windshield wiper and turn signal. So you'll notice when you try to do the turn signal on in the truck without any power, she doesn't work, right? So there's obviously going to be an accessory on wire in here. So I pulled this out, and I'll show you real quick that the black wire there, the black and green, that is your ground. The red is a constant hot, but this pink wire on the very end with the green is an accessory on. So I'll show you what I mean real quick. You can see that when I go in here, the second one, the light comes on. That's my hot. That's the red wire. If I go on the very end here, nothing comes on. That's my pink and green wire. So I'm going to turn the key on. Windshield wipers will come on, but that's just because it's unplugged. But if I turn this to start, I know I'm going to have power. As soon as I come in here, I got light. So that right there tells me that's an accessory on. That's going to be our accessory on power for the actual the gauges. All right guys, we got it all wrapped up. As you guys see right there, we've got the wires coming down through the steering column here. Bodie's actually in the process of zip tying all this up so we don't get caught in our steering. So we got that done. We got our power. We're gonna run it to the top there. I've showed you guys that. Our orange and our black are over here. We're gonna run it around to like one of these bolts here. And then the orange, I disconnected the light switch right here. Pulled this out. We're gonna figure out which one's our dimmer, and we'll hook our orange one up to it, and that should be it. And then the easy part is taking all these wires right here, putting them in the connector, crimping them down, and hooking up the gauges. So we're almost there. All right guys, so here's what we got going on. All the wires are routed. We're about to put the column back on the top here, and then we got our ground here, and behind here there's a orange and a pink wire, and that's our dimmer. So what I did was I popped this out and I laid it to the side, and I used my power probe thing here, and I found out which slot it was, and I rotated the dimmer to see which one it was, and at the same time this light would brighten and dim, and that's how I found out what my dimmer was. It's hard to do with just unplugging the plug because you don't know where your dimmer's set at or which wire is what. So best thing is just to pull this whole panel out and then try to find the correct dimmer wire from the wire that's behind here. I hope that helps out. Alright guys, so we got it lined up, and sorry if I'm blinding you by the light, but went over the shift boot here. You can trim that away if you want to. I've seen a lot of other people do it, but I just put it over it, and Bodie's actually putting the push pins in now, and then we're going to put the connectors on and put in the gauges. Alright guys, so if you see our wires here, it's kind of hard to see from this distance, but it's going to be red, orange, black, and then a red and yellow stripe wire, and then green, and then black. I know it's hard to see because of the lighting, but this is exactly what we're going off of right here. This is how your boost wire is wired in. We're going to take our plug, make sure the claws on it like that are pointed up. You do not want to have them pointed down because it will not go into the gauge. Sorry, it's not focusing. Yeah, you don't want to have them going in like that. So you're going to have it plugged in like that. The wire, he's going to push this onto the black piece right there that holds it on. Make sure you get it all the way through there.
Just like that, huh?
Yep. Make sure those wires line up in the actual orange plastic. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can.
Yep, and then you just get that and tighten it down. Are the wires going into the top there?
Yeah.
Yep, just like that. Just squeeze the hell out of it. I'll squeeze it a couple times just to make sure.
Yeah, it's tapped out.
Huh?
Yeah, it's tapped out there.
Okay, all right. Now pull the black piece off.
How do you do that?
Just pull it up. Alright, and then if you guys see the back of this sensor, see how those copper or those gold pieces actually, sorry it's not focusing, but it encapsulates the wire. That's what you want. So there's a white piece here, right here. He's going to slide that on the back of that. That's done, and now we're just going to cut the excess wires. And Bodie's peeling off the sticker on the top of the gauge. You have to do that or it's gonna sandwich in there. That's how tight those things actually go in. So he's gonna plug it in and we'll just rinse and repeat with the EGT gauge. All right guys, this is Bodie's cockpit view here. Sorry for the glare, but I'm not gonna start it up. He's putting the turbo back together, but kind of like a little test look. They look real good. They match the background. And let's look at the lights. We got the lights on there. They're dim and they're working. So it's reading ambient temperature. That's a good thing. Obviously we're not going to see turbo boost for a while until we go drive it, but so far successful install. All right guys, there's Bodie. He's leaving for the last time. He's getting transferred somewhere else, so probably be his last time on the channel, but we'll get a video later from him showing the gauge is working, and that'll be it. So there she goes. Later. She gone. Guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. That's going to be the end of our install for the ISSPRO gauges. Hopefully it wasn't too hard to understand. You know, hopefully you guys got some good ideas of how to install that stuff. It's not too bad doing on the steering column there, and it was a lot easier just running 2 gauges instead of 5 gauges like I did in my truck. So Bodie's getting transferred. This is going to be the last time he's on the channel, so hopefully we see him again sometime, but we never know. But so like I said in the last video, seeing his 4th gen sit in this garage makes me want to build a freaking street truck 4th gen. So that is yet to be determined when that's going to happen, but we are going to have another build on this channel sometime, someday. I promise you that. And hopefully it's going to be more of a street truck look / drag strip truck. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I always ask for, please get down there, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. And other than that, we'll see you guys on the next upload. Have a good one.